Hi there, James here from Estranti. Just a very quick video for you today looking at the utility of examiners' reports. Now, examiners release their reports after every exam sitting. Here we're looking at the operational case study exams, and so you get 4 examiners' reports per year. Now, if you're a student and you've got an exam coming up, if it's the OCS exam in particular, then I would advise you to go and find the most recent examiner's report and take a look through it, because what you'll find is a list of all the things that students did wrong in the previous case study exam sitting. So that's really valuable information for you going into your exam whenever that is and when that's coming up. So this particular examiner's report, this particular bit of advice is taken from the August 2018 sitting, and the examiner has identified that students have gaps in their technical understanding in a particular set of topics, and we'll look at those topics in a second. But first, I just want to make a point about technical understanding. What the examiner is referring to here is technical marks, and technical marks, as you probably know by now, for operational case study make up 64% of the marks available in the exam. So by far the biggest allocation of marks are given in this particular competency. So it's really important that you do well in this particular competency. Now, you obviously have to do well in all of the competencies, but given how many marks are available here, this is really the one you should prioritize. So in this report then, the examiner is saying students haven't got a good enough technical understanding of these topics. So what we'll do, we'll quickly run through those topics, and that could be a good starting place for you in preparation for your exam. So the first one is a P1 topic, that's mix and yield variances. Now you'll notice that quite a lot of these topics are from P1, and that's because P1 makes up 50% of the questions you'll get in an operational case study exam. So in this case, it's variance analysis, specifically mix and yield, but variance in general probably, because I have to say I've looked at every variant of every operational case study exam for the past few years, and I've never seen a variant that didn't have variance analysis or a variance analysis question in it. So it's a topic that's almost certainly going to come up, and it's one that students often struggle with. So there's a good starting place for you. Go and find your old textbook, review variance, mix and yield variances, and make sure you're comfortable with that topic, because you're probably going to get a question on it. Another one is decision making with risk. That's another P1 topic. And the thing with these is they're very easily examinable. It's quite easy to come up with questions on these. For decision making, all you have to do as the examiner is come up with some options, give them to the student, and your job as the student is to use some decision making tool and show how you would make a decision using this particular model, and you might even apply risk to it as well. So nice simple exam scenario. If it's an area you're not comfortable with, again, go away and study that, because it's probably going to come up in your exam, and it's one that students often get wrong. Another P1 topic, linear programming and shadow pricing, another very technical topic from P1. Again, similar to the other ones, students often get it wrong, and it does come up. So make sure if it does come up, you're going to give a good answer in this topic. In addition to P1, it's F1 questions. So the technical marks, you'll only ever get technical marks for P1 and F1 type questions. E1 questions don't come with any technical marks, so you don't need to worry about E1 insofar as that they won't give you any technical marks. Of course, you need to worry about E1 for people skills and leadership skill marks. So F1 is the financial reporting implications of a subsidiary, everyone's least favorite topic in F1. Unfortunately, it does come up sometimes in the operational case study exam. Now, the upside of that is you don't actually have to perform any of the complicated calculations for doing group accounts, but what you do need to be aware of is what the impact of acquisition of a subsidiary or an associate would be on the overall perhaps financial position or performance of an entity. So it's perhaps slightly less involved in that you're not doing individual calculations, but you do still have to understand the technical side of the impact of an acquisition. And finally is another F1 topic, and that's the EOQ model, a key part of inventory management, which is of course an important part of working capital in F1. Often students kind of vaguely remember EOQ. They can perhaps use the formula and do the calculation, but they get the number at the end and they're not quite sure what it's supposed to mean or how it helps with inventory management. So with EOQ, the key there, again, because you won't be doing calculations in the exam, you'll be given calculations and numbers and interpreting them. So you just need to understand how the EOQ model works and what it tells you about inventory levels or the number of orders a company needs to make and how that can help with general working capital management. Okay, so those are the 5 key topics identified by the examiner for the August 2018 exam as areas where students had a poor technical understanding. So if you go away and study these, it's going to put you in a good position for the exam you have coming up. So if you found that video helpful, remember to like and subscribe on YouTube to make sure you're getting all the latest Astranti updates. And you can also find us on other social media platforms. We are on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook in a number of different places. We have groups for operational strategic management case studies. So have a look on Facebook and see if you can find the right group for you.